Turn into delicious treats like these and desserts or a side with your meal, the strawberries have to come from somewhere. What better place than Gieringer's family orchard and berry farm in Edgerton, where Bill spent some time picking strawberries.
Now, Frank, you got to help me out here because I don't think I've ever taken a strawberry off of anything other than a supermarket shelf. So how do we get started finding the right strawberries for us here at your farm?
Well, first you're going to look for a really red strawberry. You
Okay.
want a strawberry that looks much like this, fully red. We say redder's better here, so you're not wanting that orange or the one with the white tip like you might find in the grocery store.
So they're not just planted in the ground here. You have your plant put on these plastic systems that are raised off the ground. Talk about how they're planted here.
This is a special bed shaper that we have. It raises the bed about 9 inches off the ground. It's like what you would typically see in California or Florida. They've adapted it to make it fit our colder winters. We cover these berries in the winter, but it makes for a nice picking experience. In May, when the weather is wet, instead of coming out here and picking strawberries that have mud splashed on them, 10 minutes after the sun comes out, these berries are perfectly dry, laying on a nice clean bed of plastic. So it makes for great, easy picking, keeps the weeds out of our path.
And the strawberries that we're picking today, you guys planted in September of last year?
Yes, usually around Labor Day weekend, last week of August, first week of September. We plant these as a little plug. They're going to come much like a little tiny tomato plant. We have a machine, we can set those in and plant those late summer, and then they actually develop their fruit crowns over the winter, in the fall going into the winter. So all the berries that we're picking here today were a little tiny fruit bud on inside the root or the crown of that plant over the winter.
Well, we can call them very hardy and very strong strawberries after they make it through that winter that we had this year, huh?
Exactly. This has been a tough winter for strawberry production, and it's certainly by far, hands down, the latest start we've ever had for strawberries.
So how long have you guys had the farm down here?
We bought this farm about 5 years ago, solely with agritourism in mind. We have welcomed families out here. We not only pick strawberries, but we have you pick peaches, we have you pick blackberries, and starting next fall, not this fall, but in 19, we should have you pick apples also. We have a trellised apple orchard going.
Now, what's a trellised apple orchard? Because most folks, I think they go for just an apple grove or a slew of apple trees out there.
Yeah, it's a new way to grow apples. Instead of having maybe a couple hundred trees on a per acre basis on wide spacing, they're in 10-foot rows. They're about 2 to 3 foot apart. We may have 1,500 per acre. It's a way to grow fruit and not wood. Instead of this big tree, you have to wait 10 years for it to produce a lot of apples.
Strawberries are delicious. Strawberry donuts are out of this world. And up next, of course, Bill is trying those.